What's up, everybody? Back with episode 4 of Bulletproof Mindset, where we help you bulletproof your mind through health, fitness, and everything else, I guess. So in this episode, I've just returned from a little holiday, and James has had some time away from the gym as well. So this is us getting back into it. And we thought one of the best things to talk about, from what we've learned over the last couple of weeks, is rest days and deloads. So in this episode, you can find some good information, some useful tips that we've experienced ourselves, some things that we've actually got wrong, and the power of rest days. So I hope you guys enjoy. 2 weeks, Miss me?
I did miss you. It's been a long 2 weeks. Obviously, I had food poisoning for a week, so I wasn't even in the gym. I think I was in the gym one day. I'd done all my clients on the Friday, and I woke up on the Saturday. I was like, I'm still done in, because I couldn't eat because I got ulcers on my mouth.
Oh, did you? I didn't realise that.
Aye, so I had food poisoning for 2 days. I never ate or drank for 2 days. And then about Thursday, because I hadn't drank water for 2 full days,
right,
slowly but surely, ulcers started to come up my mouth, and then I couldn't open my mouth.
So, what do you think it was? Taco Bell?
So it was definitely Taco Bell, but I think... it was definitely a Taco Bell, 100%.
Is that your first ever Taco Bell?
First ever Taco Bell. It was rotten. It tasted like absolute shit. Right, and no joke, it tasted terrible. I texted my pal, I was like, mate, that was the worst gran ever. It was cheap as chips, like, see, for somewhere in town, obviously you expect town to be more expensive. It was only a tenner for 2 full wraps. That's nothing.
You're like jackpot.
Do you know what I mean? That's like chicken and beef for a tenner plus everything else. That's cheap. So, like, obviously I was spewing on the Monday, I was spewing a wee bit on the Tuesday, and then I was feeling alright. Wednesday was fine. And then Thursday when I woke up and I couldn't eat again. So then I was just pure depleted.
Oh man.
It was horrid.
You still trained one day?
No, I never trained for
at all.
No, I never trained for like 9 days.
Oof.
9 full days.
You depressed?
I was depressed. I had heavy depression.
Did you?
Well, by Saturday, Sunday I was extremely depressed.
Oh,
I was really sad. I was really fucking sad.
Getting weaker.
Oh man, I hadn't been that depressed in a while.
It's actually, it does hurt a wee bit, isn't it, when you're in a good routine and you feel like you're killing everything, and then everyone gets sick, everyone gets a cold or a bug or something, but anything that knocks you like 10 for 10 like that.
It's hard because you're just so used to smashing it, feeling good, and then that all gets took away. It's not even the fact that if you don't train for 5 days, it's alright, like by 7 days. Like, you'll know yourself how good you feel after you train, and you'll know yourself now, because you said you've already spoke about it. You've not been training that consistently, and you're feeling it a wee bit. Do you know what I mean? You feel like you're feeling that. You've not got that.
Aye.
That drive. You've lost it.
So you were sick for a week, and then last week, the first sessions back, they hurt, don't they? They don't feel good.
No, they didn't. I didn't really feel that good, but I was feeling better for eating a bit more and training, and I was feeling a lot better, but it still didn't feel like oomphed.
I seen a video you put up. So in Hostel, you put some good numbers up with the looks things.
I did. Right. I still felt alright.
Felt alright. A couple of days ago.
That was 3 days ago. So I was just wanting to see what I could lift with competition plates. And
was that first time lifting?
Time lifting with competition plates in a proper power bar.
What's it like?
It's good.
Different.
Much better.
I'll need to get a try.
It is much better. Like, it would change how you feel in deadlift. So that initial pull, because you can deadlift properly, you'll actually feel like it's no harder. The initial pull off the floor is harder, because obviously all the weight is there, like 100% there. But as soon as you pull that and you've got the right tension, you'll be able to fly up.
So for anyone listening, what's the difference between a normal barbell and a deadlift barbell?
Right, so I didn't use a deadlift bar. I used a power bar.
Power bar, sorry.
Right, so what a power bar is 29mm thick, and it's got knurling. It's got hard knurling, so it's really grippy, and the sides and the middle.
Like the mesh bit that sits on it?
Aye, so that's so you can really hold on, and when you're squatting, there's knurling in the middle,
I
right?
remember you saying
so that doesn't slip off your back when you're squatting, and there's no much whip on it.
Right.
So you will see a wee bit of whip in videos, but in person, it feels like there's none. Once you take that tension in the bar, it's not going to whip back and forth.
Aye.
Do you get me? But if you go on a normal barbell in a normal gym, you will get that whip, and as you're going up, as you're driving up with a deadlift, it will slow, like you won't see it in a video, but it will actually whip back, down and back, down and back.
Interesting. Do you know it's something like in the 10, 15 years of training, I don't think I've ever like put that much or paid that much attention to the barbell.
No, you haven't. You don't even know the difference in anything.
Until I met you, you were like, oh, we need to get power bars. And I was like, all right, I take it they're a wee bit thicker. And you're like, no, it's the mesh and it's the grip. And I was like, really? And I was like, I didn't realise there was so much things that can be tweaked just to really fine tune your lifts, your squat, your deadlift, or whatever it is. It fascinates me.
It's not even like it would fine tune it. It's just like that's what all the competition is actually using. And your grip's already good, so it would be a doddle to grip it. Like you'd be able to get it up near bother. And also, like you high bar squat anyway. High bar squats when you sit it on your traps. Low bar squats when you sit it on your rear delts. So when you're sitting the bar on your rear delts and there's no nothing in the middle, you put a lot of effort on your elbows, right? Because you're holding it in your elbows instead of just sitting nice on the rear delts and cutting into your back, basically.
Do you know? I would imagine this might have happened to me while training at some point, but I never paid attention to it until you and Jay were like speaking about it. You're like, oh, we need to get these bars, and I was like, really? And I was like, I never really knew or paid attention to that. And then I was going for, I think I was trying to hit like a heavy 3 rep. And I'd done my first rep of squats and then my second one, and I felt it slip, and I was like, oh, that makes sense now.
But it can do like severe damage to your elbows.
The stress that went on.
Especially when you're lifting heavy. You can lift heavy. You can lift even heavier. I always say this. It annoys me.
We don't care about lifting heavy.
No, we do.
Functional strength, solid mindset.
But think about it, right? Think about it. Your functional strength with better bars, you're even stronger.
It's a win-win.
It is a win-win. Do you know what I mean? You would love it.
So 2 weeks. So this is the first time we've caught up in 2 weeks. So and we were going back and forth, and we had quite an interesting topic. So the last 2 weeks you've trained a handful of times, if that.
4 or 5 times.
And I'm just back from, so I was in Croatia for a week, which was amazing. Also, I wasn't going to go to a gym. It was my time to have a wee bit of downtime, relax with the wife and some friends that we went with. And then last week we were travelling about Scotland with some friends that came over from New Jersey, which was amazing. But it brought up a good topic, and that was to go into deloading, or having, maybe not, I don't want to call it deload, but having time away from a routine.
Rest.
Rest. I think rest is probably the right word to call it. Because both of us has been like wanting to start the podcast, do the videos together, keep up our training, try and hit some. You want to hit a 200 kilo squat. You want to. Sorry if I'm offending you here.
No. That's true. That's true.
So like, some big aspirations.
I'm not hitting this year anymore.
Do you know so?
No, not a 200 squat. No.
Well, either way, we've had some.
Any tissues?
180 kilo squats so weak. But either way, like we've been so focused on so many different goals, and I think we both probably hit a bit of a. I wouldn't say necessarily burnout. I know we talked about burnout you had when starting PTing, but I think this one's felt a wee bit different because we've both had an opportunity to go, right, I'm actually going to step away from my routine, my schedule, my workout. Yours was forced by food poisoning. Mine was also a planned vacation that we were taking, but we wanted to talk about that for you guys because it kind of highlights the importance of a few interesting points that might not come to mind for every person that's kind of in a routine just now. So I guess let's talk about deload first, because we mentioned that first. So I'll let you can kind of tap on or touch on a deload.
Also, before I talk about deloads, I want to say, like, how do you feel after having a week on holiday? And obviously it is 2 weeks on holiday, but you were actually away, sunny, drinking, chilling, having fun. Obviously your second one, you're in Scotland, so it's a wee bit different. Obviously seeing people you've not really met before, so obviously you said you were nervous before meeting them.
It was a wee bit nerve-wracking.
And then you had a good time. So how do you think you felt compared to before you left to now after 2 weeks of that?
So before leaving, like I said, there was so many different things we were doing. We just started the podcast, just getting to grips with like video editing, try to train, also doing a little bit on the property side of things as well. So there's so much happening at one time that I was actually scared to take a break, because I was like, I can't. I made a joke. I was like, who wants to go to Croatia? You can take my spot, because there's so much going on for me that I'm not quite ready.
You were 100% serious. Like,
I know, I was driving.
No, like,
I was driving.
You were.
In the back of my mind, I was like, you know what? It'll be nice to get away. It'll be nice to, like, Sam and Nicola, who we went away with. Like, it's always a good time when we hang out with them. We've never been away like a week together, so I knew it would have been good hanging out with, like, even just having. I talk about this with Gillian all the time, or she reminds me all the time that even though we spend time together, we don't actually spend proper time together as a couple. So I was nervous of going away, But while I was away, I was like, it takes first few days, especially for me. I'm like, because I'm still in work mode. I'm looking at the client notifications come through and the app that workouts are being completed. I'm on my Instagram and I'm seeing workout stuff, and then I'm still listening to podcasts on the flight on the way over. And I'm like, right, it takes me a couple of days to get into that like zone of relax, disconnect. I wouldn't say I fully disconnected, but I definitely managed to
relax a wee bit.
Relax time, have a few drinks. While I was away, I'd never cared about getting a workout in, doing press ups or sit ups or anything like that. I was like, I'm walking, we were jumping in the sea and all that good stuff. So I knew I was active on a daily basis.
I think the main thing is you weren't working 12 hours a day.
No, it was different. There was no one-to-one PT sessions. So coming back from that initially, I was like towards the end of it, I think me and Gillian were like, right, I'm actually excited to get home. I feel good. I feel recovered. And in all honesty, I was like, I'm a wee bit nervous about trying to host people that we haven't necessarily spent a lot of time with. And I was like, right, I'm ready to get back to work. I'm itching to get back to work. So then we came back from Croatia. Had a bit of fun. Brought some stuff back. Picked the guys up that were meeting from New Jersey, the people that were staying with us, and we were showing them about Scotland. So I was like, right. And again, another day or so, I was like, right, we'll go into Edinburgh and done some sightseeing things. There's so much in Scotland that we done this last week that I've never done before, and this was the first time. And I was like, wow, Scotland's got a lot to offer, so it was actually really nice.
I wouldn't even know any of them.
Honestly.
I genuinely wouldn't.
Like, we went up to see the Harry Potter train.
Right.
Done all like the touristy stuff.
I didn't even know it was in Scotland.
Did you know?
No. I had actually no idea.
Did you know?
No.
Is
the castle in Scotland as well?
What do you mean?
Or is that a film set?
Is there a castle in Scotland?
No.
Oh, the
Harry Potter one?
Harry Potter isn't real.
Is that just that?
That's just CGI.
No, I wasn't sure if it was like, you know what I mean?
So they've got like the actual train that you can get the experience in that. So we've done that. We've done a little hike.
Oh, that would have been amazing. It's a train, brilliant.
It's different for different people.
Right,
but it was really cool to see. So today is day one of getting back to it. In the last couple of days, like really feeling good to get back into rhythm. Have that time away has allowed me to have the headspace to think about a couple of different business ideas of what I want to do with yourself, like with our joint venture, with the podcasting, content ideas of what I want to do for some clients, even some down to like the program design that I've done for all the clients that I trained. There's a couple of things that I've had some ideas.
Extra ideas that you wouldn't have before.
I never had the space to think. I never had the space. Even how I want to train myself, I'm excited. I feel good. I feel energised, and I'm like, right, I'm ready to get back to business and smash it.
I think that's one thing about rest is like creativity comes to resting, and that's the one thing that I've understood recently more than anything, because I found my creativity was dying.
Yeah.
Like,
because it's all go.
I was more overwhelmed. I think the main thing is for me is I'm quite unorganised. I'm quite a procrastinator, quite unorganised, which I'm getting better at, right? But at the same time, because I'm not unorganised to an amazing degree, but because we had so much going on, I was like, when's this creativity going to come back? I'm really struggling to be creative. And the day's a completely different story. I'm like fucking ready. I've all these ideas. Like you messaged me the other day, and I had already had all these ideas pinged. But the last time we done a podcast, it was like, what ideas have we got? I'm like, I don't actually know, because we've got this, and this going on, and then we need to go and do this, and this. I'm like, man, I went for doing nothing for a while to doing everything, and you're like, oh my god,
it's overwhelming.
My god.
I was sitting in now, obviously for anyone listening, not everybody gets the chance to. The rise of inflation and stuff, you're always going to get the chance to have a week where you can book to go on holiday. Now, if you can, great. That those times are it's amazing. But equally, just having time away, like taking a holiday to be, even if it's a couple of days, sometimes a long weekend or a weekend. Because we'll get into what you said in a minute. Like Sunday, you were like, even though this getting back into the rhythm from food poisoning, but having a rest day or a downtime day yesterday's allowed you to come in. You were saying today and feel so
yesterday. Good. I finished work at 1. I know I was working earlier, but Sunday shifts are always that wee bit calmer. And then went home and I done none. I didn't even think about work for the first time in ages. I knew I was going to get up early this morning and crack on. And I think that wee bit of organisation and that rest, and I woke up feeling like a new man. I was like, let's get it. But before, I was like going home, no doing anything, and still thinking about work, even although I had nothing to do that day. And then you'd wake up with no creativity.
I know, because it's like you carry over the same stresses and like
to every
responsibility to the next day, and it just builds and builds and builds.
consistently.
Now, also we named this podcast like Bulletproof Mindset, so I think this is where the David Goggins that we're talking about can sometimes come in. It's like, right, you fucking need to get everything, go hard, but if you truly want to have a bulletproof mindset, or have a to I don't know what the word is, but just always be on that drive, that grind, that whatever it is that you're pursuing, health and fitness, work, no matter what it is, that rest is so important to that part.
Absolutely. So you can grind, and you can grind for ever and ever and ever.
Bump and grind.
Oh, bump and grind. But you can grind, like, I know for a fact that you could grind forever, but your relationship would take a hit, your mental health would take a hit. But I know that for a fact that deep down, if you had the choice, you would just keep grinding to a degree. To a degree, do you know what I mean? Your mental health could be slipping, relationships wouldn't be as good, and you would just keep grinding. And I think obviously you went away and it's been really good, but everybody's the same, but some people just, like you, work so fucking hard, and it's just learning to take that rest period, so then you're feeling good and grinding at the same time.
Yeah. I think everyone's going to have a different tolerance to this as well.
Oh, definitely.
Sometimes, I think Gary Vee speaks about this pretty well, that some people's mentality of I'm going to grind is like they do a 9 to 5, and they'll do on a Tuesday and a Wednesday they'll do like 3 hours of work of a side hustle, and to them that's stepping up. Like grind isn't like 24 hours a day, and that is the mentality game of reevaluating. Like what is it? What's the desired outcome? I love that thing, that question, that whatever you're doing, like take a step back and look down at it from a bird's eye view. Like, what is it that you're trying to achieve? Because if you're splitting yourself up in so many different directions, like in all honesty, we have, like, we learn from that.
Definitely.
Putting the downtime, we try to get a schedule up of like, when do we podcast? When do we sit down? When do we actually just go for a coffee and have a blather, like, and just catch up? Like, because if we're always thinking about work, it's like I'm actually suffering here a wee bit away. Like, I just want to talk about it.
I'm struggling. I'm struggling.
Like that. Like, that was a big eye opener for me. Like, while I was away, I was like even my mate Sam that I was away with, like, we were sitting on the balcony in one of the Airbnbs we had, and I don't drink like much. I don't care to drink. I would go my life without drinking, but I know what it does to a social occasion.
So it does make it that bit easier.
The healthy thing for me to do just now is crack open my beer, and we just had a chat. Like, we were just blaring about like this lifestyle. Like, we're just sitting chilling. There's like no noise. The sun's setting. The girls were getting ready. And it was just us two, and I was like, you know what? Like, this is so good. Like, for mental health, for reset, for the rest, as you said.
100%. Like, obviously, drinking is no quote unquote healthy.
No,
but
in isolation, no. But
but in that time when obviously you're sitting with your mates on holiday and they go, "You want a beer?" It's more unhealthy to go, "Nah."
Do you know
what I mean? Because then it would make it feel weird. And I'm not saying if you don't drink at all, you should definitely have a beer. What I'm saying is, if you're fond of a wee beer and you're sitting on holiday with your mate, you've actually went out your way to go and rest. If you say no, like, that's probably an unhealthy habit. Because you're like, no, I can never do that. I can never go outside this mindset.
Yeah, I need to be in this or that.
I need to be here.
I need to be, because that's the thing. Like, and this is what we'll touch on there. We'll go into deloading in a wee sec, but people think that health and fitness needs to be 24 hours a day, like 7 days a week. You need to look at health and fitness holistically. So yes, you've got the workout component, you've got the nutrition component, but you also have the social component, and mental health component, and sitting down and having I wrote a post like maybe 3-4 years ago, like, what is health and what is healthy, and it was in the post I wrote that, you know what, sometimes health and fitness is going to be going down to the gym on a Friday night and getting that workout in, and sometimes it's going to be having a games night with your friend and having a couple of beers and pizza
and go and see your family.
Exactly. Or that, yeah, like relationships. I think COVID was a big thing, like, where people couldn't see people face to face. I don't think, I've not looked into the data, but I'm pretty sure that there will be a spike in cases of what that impact. I think we're yet to see the impact that's going to have on society as a whole. So,
100%. It's going to have changed everybody's communication skills.
I know. Exactly.
For life. Yeah. For life.
I think luckily, like, we make videos on, it might seem a wee bit vain, but we make videos for Instagram and stuff, and that actually helps us communicate.
It does.
In our mind, we're like, right, I'm doing this because this is what I'm trying to communicate. Not everybody's like, it's awkward and weird for people to like film themselves. So
people find it so awkward, and I mean, it still is sometimes awkward. It's always that wee bit awkward, but like, once you do it a couple of times, you get so much better at communicating. Whatever you said in that video, you can communicate that to everybody.
Yeah.
So much better.
Yeah. So rest, deloading. Deloading is quite a topic in the health and fitness space. So what would you class a deload as for someone?
So there's three types of deload. There's when it comes to training, there's de-volume. So however many sets and reps you do, you bring it down. There's de-intensity. So whatever weight you were lifting, you lift a wee bit less. And there's de-training, where you just don't train for a week.
Right.
So 3 different types of training. I know you said earlier in the podcast that you don't really like saying deload in life, but I do, because I say your work and your social is all load. It's all load that will impact your mental health.
Just a term.
Do you know what I mean? I actually really like it, because so I had a client and just the other week there, and I could see that he was coming in and he wasn't enjoying it as much. So the other day he came in and he was like, I'm shattered. And I was like, mate, you've been shattered quite a lot. I'm like, what do you think's wrong? He's like, I don't know, I'm just knackered. I'm sleeping all right, but I'm just knackered. And I looked at it, I went, you've actually been training for quite a while. I says, I deload every 4 weeks for my training, and that's because I train quite heavily, like weight-wise. And I was like, you need a deload. And I was like, see, either this week or next week. I was like, just don't come in and train. I says, stay active. Right? So it's no doing fuck all. It's coming in, and it's no go to the gym, but it's staying active, keeping your steps up, keeping your calories where they are, keeping your nutrition the same. Like, you don't change anything else. You just don't get your mindset and I need to go to the gym and I need to smash it. Do you know what I mean? You bring it. You bring your central nervous system down, because going into the gym and smashing it is quite taxing the central nervous system.
I like that. So I want to stay on the subject of deloading just now, because I'm always very careful who I communicate this to. It sounds like the client you've got is like more of an advanced dialed person. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think for most people are in the mindset of who come into the gym. They're coming to the gym to maybe 3 days a week. Some people more, but I think that's where most of the average person comes into the gym. I'm always conscious of saying, because if I give a ticket or a green light to a client that says, look, don't want you to come into the gym, I want you be active outside of the gym. The likelihood is Monday, Tuesday that works. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is very easy, because they've came to me because they struggle to get into a routine or a gym, or they need some help with that. But I like where you went through the three different options of deloading or resting. The active rest days. We'll transition into active rest days and the difference to actual deloading in a wee sec. But the active rest days I like as a lever to pull on there. But so deloading in the sense of like stepping away from the gym. This is I think just a story that happened today actually. Coming back from a holiday or coming back from a rest period, for a lot of people, and myself, I've been in this position before, where you've been training and you've been pretty damn good with your routine up until a holiday or an event or whatever it is, and then coming back into it, it's so hard to come back into it. You don't feel energized, you don't feel refreshed. You're just like, man, what's the point? Like, I'm struggling with this. And I've experienced this, and one of my clients actually experienced this as well. Now, is trying to get back into that routine, because so many different things play into that. Like you've got your relationships, like you can be arguing with a partner, that can throw you into it. Right, it can be friendships, it can be family drama, it can be just general
stress of life, any stress of life.
Hormonal, it could be work, it could be whatever it is. No matter what it is, it's trying to find what's the right thing for you to do in that moment. So it might not be a workout. It might be like, this is what we've done today. We just went, like, look, can tell like this isn't the right time to be working out, and we went outside and we went a walk for an hour, just being outside in fresh air, just having a chat. Like, I think
trying to get that drive back in you, because doing that session probably would have destroyed whoever that was for that day, and they would have probably went into a bigger slump. Anyone
that's on their health and fitness journey who's trying to lose like weight or get in shape, whatever it is, to a degree, the gym element is such a small piece when you look at the compound interest over years and years and years. Yes, the gym is important, but equally so is everything you do outside that gym.
100%.
And that's why I was like, right, you know what? So I've done this myself, where I've been like, gone back to my squats and deadlifts, I can't be bothered. Like, I try to put weight in my back, like it's taxing, as you said. So I went, right, you know what, I'm going to do some banded work. I've done banded work with, I had a client who was who, this is maybe a wee bit different, but she was in the second trimester of her pregnancy, and she was like, I'm not feeling like weights. And I was like, let's not do weights. Let me show you what resistance bands can do. And we done a 15-minute resistance band workout, and she was like, I feel good, blood was flowing. The power of that workout is like insane. But people think, you need to, don't get me wrong, there's times to push through, but it's a real fine dance.
So I think that's actually quite a good thing about pushing through and learning when life's too much and the stressy lives are too much, and you should really put your priorities in at other places and fix the stresses before you move back into training hard. Because obviously training hard ultimately is how you're going to get in better shape. Maybe not lose weight, but definitely to gain muscle. But at the same time, look, is going into the gym and destroying your mental health even more worth it?
Well,
no.
It's the question, like, what is getting in shape? Getting in shape to some people's muscles. Getting into shape is like, I just want to fit into a different dress size. Like, it's going to be so different from person to person. But you're right. I think anyone hearing this, I think most people have don't have a good gauge on themselves. When is the right time to push through? When is the right time to push back? So, what are some of your tips?
Even me, I struggle with that big time. So do you? But I think every single person on the planet struggles with gauging that. But I think obviously people who aren't in the gym as much won't actually know why they're feeling how they're feeling.
Yeah. What's some of your tips then? That when you went through, what would be something that comes to mind of, right? You know what? I thought this was the time to push through, and I was way off. Like, what was some of the things you learned for that?
So my tips, if you're ever feeling really tired and fatigued for maybe a week or two straight, right, you're probably needing either to gym a little bit less,
do something else
that you enjoy, right? Always stick to your diet, but if you're dieting, right, and you're feeling really shit, so say you're in a cut, you should probably take it back to maintenance.
So yeah, that's what I like to do. Like, I don't think cutting, dieting, restricting your calories should always be the same.
No.
Some people do better with that because it's a routine. But I like having, I call them diet breaks, and this isn't a cheat meal where you go way off. I hate cheat meals, in all honesty. I hate the term.
I hate cheat meals as well.
That can be a good podcast.
That can be.
But I like these diet breaks where you go, right, you know what, I've actually done this where tracking calories is so tedious for some people, and I'm like, right, you know what meals you're having on a regular basis, have the same meals, but like just
a little bit less.
Just
a little bit less. See, I don't even like the word diet breaks. You've just because it's no diet break. You've got to maintenance. Because I like to explain to people, look, maintenance is where you don't lose any body fat, right? A cut is where you will lose body fat. A bulk is where you will lose body fat. So we're either cutting, maintenance, or bulking. Right? We need to learn what a maintenance is first. We might get a little bit wrong. If we get a little bit wrong, the next 4 weeks after that we change it. But we're never on a diet break. Never, ever.
I know.
We're always on a set diet. And a lot of people get that word diet wrong.
Yeah.
Diet. People think diet is a set food you need to eat. No, it's just a set.
It's just dieting.
It's a diet goal. It's a weight goal.
There's maybe a better word. It's not coming to my mind just now, but just like being nutritionally aware what your goal is.
Just mindful.
Mindful nutrition. There's a good wee tagline for every post.
That's our new business, mindful nutrition.
So deloading then. So we got the stepping away from the gym. We've got the reducing volume, which I know you do. You build that into your routine, which is I like the way that you do that. And then we have the third one, intensity.
Yeah, you can drop your intensity. So you can go into the gym, lift a little bit less weight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just said something there that I was going to say. So I've got it. So I set a deload every 4 weeks. The reason I do that is because I know my life's hectic. And I know that if I just leave myself to deload whenever I feel like it, I'm going to be fucked.
Yeah.
So I have a set deloads. So I train for 3 weeks hard and I deload for 1 week. Depending on how I'm feeling, I'll either de-volume or de-intensity.
You just gauge it.
I just gauge it. But that's one of the ways that I would say, if you know you've got a hectic life, that's probably something you should look into.
Yeah.
You should deload more. And that means, one, you'll enjoy your training a lot better. You'll make progress over the long run a lot more. You know what I mean? So you won't make progress in that 4 week like you could have, but you will make progress in the 6 months like you could have.
Like you say, it's compounding. Like, that's what I love about... No love, because I love it, but I know for the average person who's maybe not a health and fitness fanatic necessarily, they're just trying to get towards a goal, but you don't see the results of what steps will get you in a day
No.
or in a week or
No.
in a month. It's compound interest over years and years and years. Now, it doesn't mean it was going to take years and years to get to it. Some people it might, but the whole process of that journey is what to latch on to.
Well, that's what Simon Sinek says. You go to the gym once, you see none.
Aye.
You go to the gym the next day, you see none.
I like that quote.
You go to the gym the next day, you see none.
Aye.
You'll never see anything until you look at a picture from 3 months ago.
experience, aye.
Because you'll never, even if you go 3 months, you still won't see any difference because it's just the compound of the 3 months. Then you look at a picture and go, fuck, I did make a lot of change.
Not even a picture. Some people are like they do something. Like, I got tagged in a post which was from one of my clients, and it was it's so heartwarming, and it makes me. It gives me a fire and passion to keep doing what I'm doing and get better at what I'm doing. But the person's never been able to get in the pool and swim, and this was the first time that she'd been able to do that. Like, that's why I train the people I train. Losing weight's cool, and yeah, okay, losing weight leads to a healthier lifestyle and less chronic risk of diseases and all that. Yes, that is ultimately the back end goal, but focusing on these carryovers to everyday life is honestly that fills me with so much joy and passion.
I seen that post and I was like, fuck man, that's amazing.
Aye, it's
like,
so good.
Like,
it's so good.
It's something just, as you say, heartwarming, but it makes everybody else who's probably seen that, or I hope so, feel like, you know what, like, I want to actually be able to do things like that.
Yeah,
look at the smaller things in life and go, you know what, I'm gonna better my health so I can do these small things that will ultimately make me so much happier.
Yeah, exactly. It makes you better relationships with your partner. It carries over to everything.
Everything.
Do you know
absolutely
a
everything.
funny sidetracks? Even, do you know what a wake up call for me is? When I was in Croatia, we were jumping into like random bits of the ocean, and I was with my mate Sam and jumping in. And it's the first time. Like, usually I'm jumping into the pool so I can touch the bottom of the water, and I'm trotting. Or what do you call it?
I don't know, mate.
What do you call it?
I don't know much about swimming.
You're
Butterflying?
No, you're hovering in the water, but you're no sinking. Like, I don't know.
Just floating in it?
Just floating, right? So
I don't know.
I'm trotting. I think it's trotting.
I don't know,
anyway,
mate.
And I'm doing that, and I'm like, I'm fucking struggling here. Like, we're talking back and forth for like maybe 3-4 minutes. And I said to my mate Sam, I was like, "You struggling here?" And he's like, "No." And I was like, whew. I'm like, honestly, like, I'm out of breath. And I swam over. And I was like, I've forgot how to swim. I've genuinely forgot how to swim.
Might be because you're a bigger boy, mate.
So I thought that was the case, but there was some big people there at the beach, and I'm like, there's a guy who's not out of breath. We picked a bit to swim over to, and we're swimming, and no joke, I'm halfway through. I'm in the middle of the ocean, and it's deep. It's really deep, and I'm swimming, and I'm like,
Gonna die.
I genuinely was like, this could be it.
Aye.
I'm swimming.
I'm going to float all the way to the bottom.
See, he was like, just lie on your back and float. So I'm lying on my back float, but I'm panicking.
Aye.
The water kept going up my nose, and I kept, and he's like, "Are you all right, bro?" One thing I'm going to do when I get back to Scotland is learn how to swim. But
Can you swim?
I can swim, but I got
Struggling.
I got my lifeguard qualification like 10 years ago. It's like,
That's a long time ago, though.
It's been a while.
That's a long time.
But I sidetracked a little bit there, but yeah, deloading and resting, I think it's such
a must.
It's a powerful tool.
Well, the fact that we've deloaded and we're back on the podcast grind, and we're actually having a podcast that we enjoy, and we look back on and go, you know, that was actually all right. So we made a podcast 2 weeks ago, and I was having a bad day. I'll not even lie. So at the end, they looked at me and went,
"Are you okay?"
Basically, you okay? It's never going up, but we've took a rest from them and we're right back on that grind. And that's just to say to everybody, look, if there's anybody watching this, you're feeling a bit low and you have been grinding and you have been at the gym and you have been sticking to your diet, then maybe you need to take it back a wee bit.
Not even maybe, it's okay to do it. Like, people 100%. Think, like, because this was my mentality, and I struggle with this sometimes, but I'll be resting on the weekend over the past year, and Jill's like, just chill out, and I'm like, no, because this is wasted time. That's how I saw it, and it's not wasted time. The way I'll get better at this over time, but the way you need to look at it is it gives you that bird's eye view of to reassess and reevaluate. Look, what's going on, what's needed, what's working well, what's not working well.
It's been having a full awareness of your life, and not just having to go, right, I need to grind.
Because one thing about the rest day as well is the alone time. This is something I probably discovered when I was away in in my old job, like I had pockets throughout the day where I wasn't speaking to anyone. I was maybe driving home for like 40 minutes, so I had downtime where it was just me. My job now requires me to interact constantly throughout the day. And then when I get home at night, I'm just straight interacting with Gillian. But I was seeing that as our time, but we weren't really spending quality time together.
Because you've already seen people all day. You took your mental strain on your clients because you're putting effort into their goals.
And then she doesn't get the best version of me. So it's something I'm still working on. But one thing I'm going to try and get into putting time within my day or time within my week is that time where it's just you, your thoughts, you're listening to music, you're whatever it is, you're out of work for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and it just allows you to go, right, cool, this is what I'm doing.
So actually, I was listening to, I honestly can't remember whose podcast it was, but they said something like, if you're going to walk, it was Huberman Lab, so if you're going to walk, he used to go a walk and listen to a podcast and learn while he was walking, and he thought that was chilling. Now, he goes a walk for 20 minutes a day, and he listens to none. Doesn't listen to music. He just goes a walk and his own thoughts. He says once he finishes that walk, he feels amazing. Sometimes he's overthinking that walk because obviously sometimes when you go a walk, you overthink because you're just thinking about everything.
It's therapeutic.
But it is therapeutic. You should overthink sometimes in the right environment.
Yeah, no, I like that. Cool. I think we'll end that there. That was good.
That was good.
Good topic.
Good chat.
So, we'll shout out the socials, so you can find our joint page at Bulletproof Mindset UK. That's on Instagram. If you're watching this on YouTube, thanks very much for tuning in. Give us a like if you enjoy it, and if you're listening on Spotify, again, we do appreciate everybody's listening. So
that was a YouTube one.
that
was the Spotify one.
So if you're looking to find out, we've got individual accounts as well. So you can find me on Instagram at Coach Crosser.
And you can find me at RawJimFit, RAWJIMFIT.
Cool. See you guys soon.
See you soon.